So, a sort of introduction, and I would like to talk a bit about altered states of consciousness, being in states of meditation, light trance, light hypnosis, whatever you want to call it. And actually, if we could skip this part and do it fast and talk more about spirituality-enabled psychotherapy, I will be very happy, because that's what I like to talk about. To summarize my journey, I had my midlife crisis towards my 40s. A few years have passed since then, and it wasn't that bad, but I was suffering, actually. And everything was just great, but when I tried to understand, so if everything is so wonderful, what's wrong? And I was missing one word, only one. I was missing joy. It's like, I was pleased, I was that, I was that, I was that, I was so many things, but I didn't have simple joy, just because, with no reasons, you know, not justified, just happiness. So I met a spiritual psychotherapist. I found something that covers everything that I needed. And then I studied psychotherapy, and my life was shaken. That's what I needed. So I went through turbulences, and I allowed myself to be shaken, and I started psycho-spiritual quest. That's whatever it is, and so many moves yet to be done.
Can you say a few words how you resolved your? How did you resolve your fight with God?
First of all, I had to change my observation on him. I had to withdraw everything that I'd heard. So the one that bridged was my therapist. That she has good relations with the divine. And she helped me realize how beloved and accepted, and helped my cognition as well as my heart to feel it. And actually, behind the quarrel, behind the fight, there was a big disappointment of myself. I had to take responsibility. That's how I resolved it, probably. and
guilt.
Yeah, guilt. So I had to forgive myself. It was difficult. Yeah. And I think that there's a need for the right atmosphere. I mean, what helped in the therapy is the energy that was in the room, and a great help from above. That's what I couldn't have done it sitting in my bed initially. Lately,
But is it also in, for me, it's also in my heart, it's not only there.
Definitely, sure. It's all felt, and I have to say, everything I sensed in my process, I sensed throughout the body.
For me, it's religion to have it in my heart. Otherwise, it's not on the ground.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. That's the last point of it. Finding the way to help ourselves, surely, and our clients to deepen, loosen up. And for me, it's not only for me, it's up to meditation. And what I've done after I graduated is deepening and learning more about it and not doing it just intuitively and okay, brilliant, you can do it so wrong and you could miss so much. And so if you move a bit into it, we're talking actually, I'm putting things very simple, you know, it's brainwaves. So it's really, when we deepen, we are not in the beta, but into alpha and theta brainwaves, and it can be measured and so on and so forth. And there are different ways to trigger those states. So there is the hypnosis that I'm not going to talk about it. I don't think this is psychotherapy. And we can use drugs. Yeah. Whoever wants it, whatever. I'm skipping it. I'm not into it. So much not into it. And then there is everything that we actually do. We dance and we run and we rock and we do those rhythms things, and we do the tissue massage and whatever we do.
And we sing. It's also important.
And we sing.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it's when we let go, or we're repeating a mantra, or we're breathing and imaging and vegetable. It's like it's. So my point is.
Vegetable.
Oh.
I'm not eating vegetables.
So my point is that we actually, this is exactly what we do in body psychotherapy. However, the whole issue of trance states is kind of, it belongs to the transpersonal. No. If we will acknowledge it and we would learn more about it, I'm talking about myself. Once I acknowledged and I started learning more about it, I started using it more efficiently in therapy, and it's not hard to get there. It comes, it goes, whatever. But it does make a change, and there are great values to those. The unconsciousness becomes much more available. People, memories, deep memories actually come. Feelings are intensified, so it's a great way around objections. And cognitive schemas in the brain really become more flexible. I'm very much into efficiency. It's the first word in my thesis and title. I mean, work, you know, no results, I'm not there. So it's working. I mean, once the client is more relaxed, more flexible, less defensive, then something happens. And consciousness really expands. If I was a victim and then we did that, and then all of a sudden, it's not so fast, but it may seem different. And altered states of consciousness, this terrible term.
Yeah, interesting thing.
Just the scientific story, but actually it's a healing state. Hello, Barbara can tell us all about it. Barbara is working, right?
Yes.
With people that have addictions, and we're talking for the last 2 days, and it's the greatest way to help them. Spirituality enabled psychotherapy. We do not force. We do not. It has to be cautious. And if a client comes and is in a development stage of the age of 8, okay, so there is a lot of work to do. And if the ego is not strong enough, we're not going to break anything. Okay, we need to build. And I've got clients that come and they are up high, so up high that they are detached. What I'm doing is like pouring concrete, you know, into their lives and into their whatever, and not excluding any experience, trying to help themselves to balance. So we may talk or may not about current status, why is it important, why us, I want to talk about why us. Some dilemmas, discussions, and we can also talk about, and we shall embody psychotherapy, what's the edge of our stream versus the transpersonal. So there is a high demand. I mean, I see it and I read it. People are believers. I mean, the vast majority, 95% of the US, believe, and we're in the new age, sitting here, young girls, that, and we see it more and more, that at the 80s, it's not like the teenagers that, what is life, what is that, it's not that. People on their 20s asking questions. I had to wait until my 40s to ask, why am I doing it? And I meet so many youngsters not wishing to do anything because before they understand why and where to, and for heaven's sake, what is it, this game plan that we ought to participate in? It's not that I did and many of us did what our parents told us, or society, and then woke up. It doesn't wait for the 40s anymore. So there is a very high demand and a low supply. And there is this segregation between psychology, science, soul, and body, mind, spirit, humanistic, transpersonal, not a great status. Why is it important to be self-actualizer, to be fulfilled, to break through, to enjoy life? And Maslow built a sixth level in his pyramid. Why us? Buddha said, it says so, I don't know, you can tell me, that everything that arises in the mind starts flowing within the sensation of the body. And we're talking about us, we're talking embodied psychotherapy. So he's talking about this embodied spirituality. It's the heart chakra and up, it's mental or emotional, and then the embodied one encompasses all human dimensions. Okay, it's whatever we talked. It's the body, it's the vitality, the heart, the mind, the consciousness, or are equal, and they need to participate in the game plan and cooperate. Embodied spirituality regards the body as the home of the complete human being, the source of spiritual insight, a microcosm, how do you say that, of the universe, and the mystery pivotal for enduring spiritual transformation. So he said it so beautifully. And I like this quote of, I don't know who said that, the deeper the roots, the taller the tree, or vice versa. You want to be tall, grow your roots down. That's the grounding work that we do. Some attributes to embodied spirituality. Sexuality! Yes! Yes. It's life force, 100%. We're talking social engagement, and so pleasure and sexuality, and that's the vitality. We're not giving up. I'm not giving up anything.
Say it loud.
And there is this song that I simply love. For me, with some clients, I do feel what she is saying, being a guardian. Actually, I feel it mostly in between sessions. But there is this dimension of what do we fulfill in their lives that I think that the song is saying beautifully. Excuse me for the rocky.
Did you make the video?